Okay, so now that you have some great pictures, let's create a nice calendar for souvenir. So first thing you want to create is actually a template to print. So the file, I'm going to say new. You want to make sure that you select US paper, which will be 8.5 by 11, resolution of 300. These are all inches. The main important thing is actually the 300. You'll see later on. So you save that. Go to File, Save As, and we'll go to my computer. D drive for you guys under my name, and I already did create a calendar folder. So if you're not too sure, you click on this guy over here on the top right hand side, create a new folder, name it calendar. Open that up. I already said a test print, so it's already done over here. So I'm going to say save. You guys would actually say temp print or template print. Then I'm going to go and create a template to put all my pictures that's going to fit into the actual calendar box that we're going to give to you later on when you're all done. So I'm going to go to new. The size is very simple. It's 7.2 inch by 4.2 inch, 300 of resolution. Press OK. So this is where it's going to be all of the pictures that you need or you put in your pictures. So this will be like kind of your markup setup. So I'm going to go to find my first picture. Say open. I go to my computer, the L drive, because all my pictures are on there. Yes, you save all your pictures. I'll choose diversity, export, and probably Mr. Light and Mr. Plasto. Press open. So in this case, it opened like this over here. So I'm going to go and check right away. Go to edit, image size, and it's 240 of resolution. Well, I'll change that to 300 right away. Press OK. So now it didn't change too much. If it's 72, you got to change that. So you make sure it's going to be 300. Now that I have that, I'm going to click into the actual picture and drag it to my first template, which was like to create the actual size of the calendar. You can hold on to shift, well, don't let it go, actually. So click and drag, don't let it go. And then you can see like, oh wow, this is really big. So if you don't see the right size that you want, you can do it two ways. Go to edit, and then you can go to free transform or control T. As you know, for me, it's always hotkeys, so control T. But I don't see the controllers like you can see over here, but I don't see it. So if you go back to control 0, then you'll see all those controls. Do not forget, hold on to shift when you're resizing, because otherwise you will kind of distort your picture. So hold on to shift, and in this case I want to resize from this point over here. So I hold on to left alt key and resize it the way that I want it. So it'll be like close to this guy, and maybe I'll make it bigger so that I only have those guys in there, and then I'll move it with my arrows just like that. So I just press enter to make sure that it worked. And now I can go back to the hand over here, double click onto this. Now I have this beautiful picture. You can always edit most of the features. I would actually go in and adjust the contrast, but for now it's not the point. It should have been done way before. So in this case, I'm going to go in and get a calendar. So now I'm going to go to File, go to Open, and this is where you have to remember, you're probably going to have to rewind this video to see where it is. So Miss Muzichuk already did a part of it. Okay, so I'm going to go to Desktop. You go to your assignment folder, double click on this. You have the pickup folder, double click on that. You have Miss Muzichuk, double click onto this. You have Photography 10 folder, double click, open that up, and you see right at the top it says calendar months. So in this case, I want this to be actual let's say May 2016. It was actually in October that we had this diversity, but let's say we'll start with May. So I click onto this once, or you can actually just say twice. You press open. So now it's already instead of the layer. I'll go to the move tool or click onto V onto my keyboard. And if you remember, this is the layer. So I'm going to go right away. I'm going to say File, Save As. I'm going to save that as temp again, but this will be for the actual photo. So over here, I'll click temporary for photo. template for photo, save. No, I don't want to do that. I'll go to my computer, D, number, calendar, temp photo, save that, yes. Okay, so I'll go get this calendar as usual. Click, hold on to your left click, drag it to the temp photo, hold on to shift, and this will be like super big. So again, the hotkeys, Control T to see to get to have the free transform, Control 0 to see the actual controllers, Shift Alt, and just resize it. Now you need to make it so it's going to be readable when you print it. So that's one feature that you have that you can do. So there's multiple ways you can do that. Some would like to actually have like a big calendar over here, like mostly like portrait size. So it'd be taking like this side, and then you have the picture on the right hand side, vice versa. You can use it this way. So you can put your pictures in full background and afterwards just add it to it. So over here, now what I'm going to do is just that I'll show you how to make this transparent. So in this case, I kind of like to keep the letters into black. So into my layer of my calendar, you go to the mode, change that to multiply. So what this does, it gets rid of the actual white and keeps it black. So if I zoom into this, pressing the Z key, okay, so my hotkeys are not working now, you can see it, but not as great. Okay, so I will do a duplicate of this layer, so Control J, and usually if you do that 3 times, so it'll be like 1, 2, and 3, it will be the perfect kind of. If you do more than that, it's not going to change too much. Okay, it's not going to be better or whatever. So that's what you can get. So in this case, I kind of like that style. Here's a new feature, or not a new feature, but you can also add, like, I'm not so sure if this would be very readable when I'm going to print it. You can always go and create a background to it. So here's what you can do. Click on the little shape, rectangular shape, go outside of the actual box, create a rectangle just fairly bigger than that, and you can always change that color. So I'm going to put that to be white, press into the white, and after that I'll go and drag to the bottom. Now let's come back to what I had, but the only difference now is just that I can actually manipulate the opacity of this guy. So if I go in here and I reduce the opacity right to 0 and start to increase it, you can see that, yeah, I get a little bit more distinction between the background and the foreground. And you can always add, like if you don't like too much of this effect, you can always go in here, and it's too much, like too square for you, it's not like fitting in, you can always blur. So you go to blur, filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and then I'll press yes, okay. So that will render the picture, that's what it does. So in here, you don't see, I'm not going to look into this, I'm going to look more into the actual picture. And you can see that if I go further and I let it go, you can see that the edges starting to go away. So usually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, like 8, I kind of like that. Press OK. So this is the before, and this is the after. So you can still see through, but actually your calendar comes out. Now that you have all of this, you can see that you have all of these guys. Here's a quick way to do it, is that if you go to Control, Shift, and E, it's going to create a picture of the actual background. So now if you go in here and press into the V key again, click in the middle of the picture, go to temporary, press print, and let it go in here, that's what it's going to look like. So what I've just done over here is just that I created one calendar. You need to repeat this for all the calendars that you need. So in there, what I would do is that now that I have this, I can go in here and either Control Z to go back to all my layers, Control Alt Z, and you change these. So I can go in here and just delete those guys because I don't need them anymore, and then start over again with a new picture. Same thing, open the picture, go and find the actual calendar that you need, okay, and then you can do that. The next video I'll show you is just that how to make this guy to be the opposite. So it'll be like white leading and the actual background to be darker. Okay.